I would love to hear, and maybe this can be twofold. I would love to hear kind of like an onboarding process with you for people, and this can be for both for either another producer that might want to implement a similar thing, or potential clients that might like, oh yeah, this Eliott guy is really cool. Seems like a pretty cool dude, and that's my genre. I'd like to work with him. So let's talk about so artist is interested. Maybe let's say finds you on Instagram, hits your email, go.
Yeah, so the first way would be if they do that, they'll go through my website and there'll be a simple form which is just name, email, and then what service they want. Based on what service they want, if it's mixing, mastering, or both, there'll be a different automated form sent to them so I can get more information. So that will be, how many songs you're looking to work on, what's your genre, can you show me previous examples of your work, budget range, do you have a deadline? So I've got that kind of low friction form on the front so it's easy for them to fill out, followed up by this questionnaire, and then I'll have a look at it. If I think I'm a good fit, then I'll fire off an email saying, love the sound of your stuff, book a call with me at a time that suits you, and then we can have a chat about it. And then we'll just have a talk for like 40 minutes about the song, their vision, all of that kind of stuff, go through what they expect from me, what they're looking for from me, if it's just take the tracks and elevate them slightly, or like we were saying, completely kind of enhance them as if they needed to be tracked and retracked and that kind of stuff. But yeah, from that point, I'll get the files from them, and then I'll always tell them when they can expect a mix back from me. So I like to be really clear about deadlines and things like that. I don't want it to be like, yeah, you'll get it in a couple of weeks. It's like, no, you'll get it from me next Wednesday, and then I'll make sure that I always send it by then, if not earlier.
About to say, and you aim for next Monday. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. I'll always try and, was it under promise, over deliver. And then I use Mixup as my file delivery system, which is basically the same as Samply and all these other ones. It comes free with, it comes free with the Pure Mix subscription, along with a bunch of other plugins. But what I love about Mixup is that it has a plugin which I then have on my master output in Logic, and anywhere that a client leaves a timestamp comment on the song, it will take me to that timestamp in my Logic project. So it's super quick for me to do revisions. Yeah,
that's so sick. Actually,
it's brilliant. Yeah, super worth checking out. And
it's like just Frame.io, but for music producers. Because like Frame.io is a lot of like film guys use to like do like video edits and stuff on like larger. Yeah, I know I have a lot of friends in that world, so that's kind of like relation to it. Dude, that's insane.
It's brilliant. And then I basically have that set up down the kind of right side of my screen. And then when I'm ready, once I bounce the song out, I can literally drag and drop the song into the plugin window, and it will upload it to Mixup as well. So it's just shortened this whole cycle of, let me look at this list, what timestamp was it, I'll click here and change that. It's like bing bing bing, I can rattle through revisions super quick and then upload it straight back to them. It's just, that's been a game changer for me.
You just changed my life.
Yeah.
You just changed my life. I'm gonna have to check that one out. That's crazy.
It's really good. I love it. And the thing about it is it doesn't look, to me, I know this is such a small point, it doesn't look as nice as like Samply does. Samply looks really good and clean. The branding on it is, the colors are a bit funky and all that, but just the ease of use, it just is leagues above everything else.
That's more of what I care about anyway. Like it's all about like how it gets used, right? Like it can look good all day, but like that integration is crazy. Anyway,
it's beautiful.
I took us off on a tangent. So they would upload a thing to you Dropbox. You say, all right, we're a good fit, and then
and then that's it. So they send me the files. I'll mix it, and I normally I try and keep my schedule about 70-80% full. So I'm never 100% booked out. So if a project comes in or it comes in late or there's revisions, I've always got time to work on them. But yeah, my typical turnaround time for a mix is like 5 to 7 working days, depending on how busy I am. And one of the game changers for me has been using these VSX to kind of mix on and reference. It just takes the room out of the equation, and I'm so much quicker and faster now that I'm mixing on these pretty much exclusively.
I was going to ask you about, we can get, continue. We'll come back to that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. So I'll send them the revisions, and when I send the link to them to the Mixup link, I also have a little email template which basically just says, there's like a few points in it being like, number one, this isn't mastered, but I've brought it up to a standard level so you can kind of compare it. And also say like, can you listen to this on a minimum of 3 different speakers just so you can hear them in different spaces? And I also say like, take your time, don't get back to me straight away, because if you sit and listen to it over a couple of days, more things will come to you. So all of those little systems I've got in place, like that little list for the email template, just makes the whole revision process a lot smoother. I'm not having to explain the same things over and over again. It lets them know the best way to listen to the song and get honest feedback from them. And it just speeds, by making it go a bit slower, it actually speeds up the revision process, because they're not like, here's the first 10 revisions, send it off, and then like, oh, here's another 10 I've just thought of. It's like,
yeah,
okay, I've listened to it. I thought initially I wanted the vocal louder, but actually now I've listened to it over here, it's okay. And so
it's the epitomization of the phrase slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
That's the one. Yeah, exactly. That's literally how it feels. And I think just having that in place has helped me massively in terms of the revisions, number of revisions I have to do as well. So people are checking them on headphones, on speakers, on soundbars, in cars, just to get an approximation, and then they can think, all right, it sounded loud there, but it sounded quiet here, so maybe, split the difference or whatever. And then once I've got revisions back from them, I normally do them the next day or that day if I've got the time, if they're short. And so anything I can do to just speed the whole process up for them, because I don't want somebody sat at home twiddling their thumbs being like, where the hell is this mix free from Eliott? It's just like, all right, got revisions, send it straight back. And that's pretty much the whole process.